So yeah, we're moving to France. It's true. And it's not because of the Supreme Court madness that's gone down in the last few weeks, although that's certainly helped us confirm that this is not the worst thing we could be doing. It's not even the most important thing that's happening in our lives right now, which is weird because it's literally the biggest thing that's ever happened in our lives so far. But yeah, we're gonna spend some time in France and we're gonna give living there a real shot. We were thinking about going there for a year or two and seeing how it goes, but I think to make this work, we kind of have to treat this as an actual life change move. I know we're not the only ones doing this, especially right now, but it really feels like this is the time to do it. There's lots of reasons for this. Let me go through them, at least as much for me as for you. First, and maybe most frivolously, it's good to blow up your life every 10 years or so. That's not my theory, but it's something I found useful. 10 years ago, I got married-ish. 10 years-ish before that, I moved to New York City from Toronto. 10 years before that-ish, I became a rock critic, which got me into performing, which got me into out of my shell, which is why I'm able to speak in more or less complete sentences to you now. Every single time I've done this, it's made my life better. I've gotten closer to happiness, to relative comfort, to being an actual grown-up. Pretty sure 20-year-old me would look at 50-year-old me and think, whew, thank goodness that worked out. It could have been so much worse. Second, and maybe most not frivolously, I don't want my son Felix to go through live shooter drills at schools if we can help it. That's a big one. Also, I don't want him growing up in Gilead either. I mean, New York City is wonderful. It'll always be my home, just like where Toronto's where I'm from, but New York is home. The American way of life is great in a lot of ways that don't make the news, but there are a few very significant things going on here that are just kind of overwhelmingly hard to explain to a toddler. I want him to grow up having a healthier attitude toward women, not that France is perfect in any way about this, but it's at least something else. And we can discuss the differences and maybe reach a better understanding of oppression and what he, as a potential future adult white guy, can do to make the world better instead of worse. And of course, yes, the same thing with race. Whew. The US's problem with race is hardwired into its DNA and has been kind of from the jump. People have been trying to fix it, or at least work the poison out of the wound for centuries now, and the small, bitter little cabal of racists that seem to have a stranglehold on the national discourse way larger than their actual numbers have thwarted any meaningful change at every opportunity. And all these things have, to date, been worth staying and continuing to fight the good fight against. And that's meant phone begging and volunteering and door knocking and marching, sure, but more than that, it's meant working on myself and the people around me. I started my adulthood from a bad place with not a lot of help. 40 years on, I'm still making myself a better man, a better ally, a better person to the people around me. But I have a kid now, and I'm tired, and I want to see him see even a sliver of joy in this world. And here, now, I don't know. I've been struggling to stay afloat for so long that I don't know how to not struggle to stay afloat. I don't want him to think my constant exhaustion and the occasionally really shitty world he inhabits is all there is. I don't want to think that myself. If I have a chance to get him off the track to a life of toxic masculinity, I will literally travel to the ends of the earth to do that. Showing him a different world, even a differently imperfect world, is crucial to giving that a chance to happen. And that feeds into the next reason. I want Felix to think of himself as a citizen of the world. Of course, the things I want for him are really also the things I want for myself, but I'd never do these things just for myself because I haven't so far, so this way it at least moves me to action. I want him to have as wide a worldview as possible. If I'm going to be raising a white, American-born boy, the absolute least I can do is to help provide him with context on the people, places, and cultures of the world so he knows his place in it. And he doesn't think of himself as the only person whose opinions matter. I mean, certainly I want him to be self-assured and clear in his own voice and in his own thoughts, but I want him to be aware of the world he lives in and to help others wherever he can. And to do that, the more he knows about other places and other cultures and other ways of life, the easier it'll be for him. The way to not raise a selfish white boy who's credulous enough to fall into alt-right traps and the like is to show him how big the world actually is and how many awesome people are actually in it. And he's one of them, but adding his voice to a chorus can make it travel way farther. I feel like we gave Felix a gift by making sure he was born in New York City because that's a tag he can take with him whenever he wants, wherever he wants. He's a citizen of the world. New York City is in a lot of ways the capital of planet Earth, kinda, and he can lean back on this as his hometown and have it be an inspiration to him if he needs it. He doesn't need to be intimidated by anyone or anything. His hometown is a sea of humanity, and this is where he learned to swim. It's every culture. It's where the world comes to do business and eat and play and mingle and hook up and fall in love. It's whatever he wants or needs it to be to get through anything he wants in his life. I'll have to teach him how to use it that way, for sure, but New York City is special, and I think that can be an energy for him as he goes through life. But to take him from here and move to another country, on another continent, speaking another language, seeing other people, living in a different culture, seeing different art, different energy, different languages, is only going to help him further clarify his sense of the world and his place in it, I hope. I don't want my sins, wrestling with my own masculinity, my whiteness, my maleness, my teen rage that I carried deep into my adulthood, all the stuff I never learned how to deal with growing up, I don't want to pass that on to him if I can at all help it. And finally, at least for now, Joe and I have spent the last decade plus just getting by. We have a rent-stabilized apartment, we live pretty cheaply, we have the freedom to develop our writing careers, to not need as much as most of our friends. We're debt-free, which is great, but I feel like it's worth it to try something else. The hustle of New York City doesn't give us a ton of space to grow into a world more than we have. It's wonderful, it's not unglamorous, but it's not the be-all and end-all by itself, and this town can grind you down if you're not careful. I don't know what's going to happen next. I've been quizzing for 16 years professionally, and it's been great. I'm intensely proud of the work I've been able to do. I'm proud of my Jeopardy and Millionaire and Cash Cab wins, and between that and my wife's book earnings, we're not starting with nothing in the bank. I mean, the Cash Cab money's gone, but we're hardly rich, but we can at least afford to do this. And I'm proud of the national and international community of quizzers that's grown up kinda, sorta on my watch. I think I can take a certain amount of credit for that. I don't think I'm a part of that community myself anymore, but at least it's there, and I think its existence is still helping people, sorta. If I've kept any friends from that era of my life, I'll be thrilled. Any quizzers coming to Paris? Don't hesitate to look me up. Worst case, we'll hang out. Best case, we'll find a quiz, take down some locals, win some free drinks. I'd like that. But I also think my life personally has another act. I've started filling notebooks with ideas again. I'm finding inspiration in places I didn't have it before. If I have anything to say, now is the time. Now is always the time. So what does this mean? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'll become less engaged with trivia, but I do know I probably won't be getting more to it, at least in North America. I'll be running my 5th New York City Marathon this fall. I'll be back to run number 6 next year, but that might be my last one for a while, unless I start qualifying on time, which, right. My French is okay now, but I'm learning as fast as I can. Any pointers on how best to do that are welcome. Or if you want to practice your French with me, maybe that can be something we can do. We have some friends there, but we can always use more. And if you live in Paris or know someone who does, I'd love an introduction. I'd love to talk to anybody. The worst that'll happen is nothing. The best that'll happen? World empire domination! Okay, I'm kidding. But hey, friendship is magic. At least that's what the bears say. I'll be making more videos about this, for sure, probably in English. This channel will be more of a lifeline to the rest of the world and to the people I know and love, but I also definitely want it to be useful to anyone else doing this, or even just thinking about it, especially if they're in a situation similar to mine, got a young family or running or quizzing. This is something I'm going to be thinking about a lot in the next few weeks and months and years. Until then, if you want books, we have tons. Seriously though, if you have any questions or are considering making a move like this yourself, or even if you just want to talk it out, let me know in the comments. I'm here. I could have really used someone to talk to about this while we were getting it together. This is not in any way the easiest way to live, but there's an opportunity here to do something greater than what we're currently doing. And if we're not trying to be awesome, then what are we doing here? This is the right thing. It's not the easy thing, but right now, it feels like the right thing.